What is up, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Flippin' Stoop. Good rockin' morning to each and every single one of you. This video is a little later today. Do something I usually don't do in this video. I'm going to go over and show you some of the items that sold yesterday. That way you guys can get a little adjust. Yesterday in the group, not on YouTube, I was talking about 90% of sales are between the $10 marker and $30 marker. Actually, 0 to 30 is really the majority of the sales on eBay. So if you're wondering what to price your items, if you want to get a lot of sales, $0 to $30, man. And I'm not telling you to sell $2 items if you're paying $1 for them. I'm not telling you that by no means. That just gives you an idea of the majority of the items that sell on eBay are from $0 to $30. So if the majority of items on eBay are $0 to $30, don't you think you should find some items in that price range? If you want to move inventory fast, it's a good way to do it, right? So I'm going to show you some of the items, and you'll see the majority of these items are between $0 and $30. Now, some of them have been sitting for a while, and I lowered the price so much just so they would move. But I'm going to turn the screen around and show you guys some of the sales from yesterday. So the first thing we got is an MK Designs blouse. It only sold for $10. A Harley Davidson t-shirt. I had it listed for $10. They sent me a $6 offer. It's been sitting for more than 90 days, so I accepted it. This is a vintage, let's see here. I'm going to try to get a better picture for you guys. Vintage Isle of Cotton sweater, golf embroidered. That one sold for $18. Wallflower unlined medium wash denim skirt. That sold for $8. Vintage skirt, nothing spectacular. Again, sold for $8. Sag Harbor pants. These are all items probably everybody's walking by in the thrift store and not even thinking of. And actually, for a pair of pants like this, they'd probably want $7 from at the thrift store. I'd walk by 2. I got them free. So that's $8. Some vintage polo shirts. One is a Anna. Another one, I don't know, it's from the 70s. It didn't have a tag on it. Both of them sold for $22. CD, tag, contagious CD, $7. Wait a minute, I'm sorry, $3. The next one is a Field & Stream Omni Wick. That sold for $7. Do you see my prices? These are very low. Now, there are some better ones coming up in here. This is an LNX blouse. That sold for $8. This is a lot of 10 balls. I can't even pronounce that word, but that's what the pack said. They're 100% luxurious baby alpaca yarn. That sold for $59. A 10-pack of vintage yarn. $59. That was from a clean out. That's free inventory. Vintage tank top. Pink fade racerback. That sold for $7. Another lot, the same type but a different color of the yarn. This one, they sent me a $42 offer, but I'm pretty sure that one is the one that also paid $60 for the other one. Vintage field gear button-up shirt, $14. This was a free item. 1960s Sterling model Stuka dive bomber, which was a pretty cool find. That is brand new. That sold for $63. Now, see, that's out of this one here, the vintage model airplane. That's $60. The yarns, they're all over the $30 mark. But if you notice, the majority of my sales are under $30 or $30 or under. Vintage Hanes Beefy Tee. I'm pretty sure that was a single stitch. Yep, single stitch. $15. Vintage 100% silk blouse button up. That sold for $10.50. American Eagle cargo shorts, 2 pairs, sold for $19.50. Pair of Coach Dorian signature sneaker boots, sold for $26. Vintage Ralph Lauren pants. Some of my titles are off. These must have been listed a long time ago. Yeah, if the custom SKU is $14.12, I'm at like $7,000 and something. That item's been sitting for a long time. $1,800. Oh, I take that back. Not necessarily, because I replenished my boxes too. So that don't mean that's been sitting that long. That's my fault. Hollister top, crops, that sold for $7. This is a vintage sweater we got for free out of an estate. It was handmade. It's got like a, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a sun and a desert theme on it. Sorry about the photo quality. That sold for $30. I think I had it up for $38. I sent them a $30 offer, and yeah, and they accepted it. That was the initial price, $38.38, and they ended up paying or that's the final price. I'm sorry, but that is actually what I had it listed for, $38.97. Vintage Immortals t-shirt, that sold for $14. This is a holiday party Lawrence 100% silk sequin beaded dress. I had that up for like $70. It's been on there for 3 months. Somebody sent me a $40 offer. I accepted it. Vintage Givenchy sports blazer. If you guys find these, I'd pick these up. Right? They sit for a little bit, but the price is worth it. I had it up for $125. It sold for $90. This is a vintage antique 20-to-1 mini Singer children's sewing machine. If you guys find these hand crank ones, this one's from the 1930s. If you can find these hand crank Singers, here, I'll pull this up so you can see it better. Yeah, there we go. If you can find these, you see this one's up listed for $299, $295, $660. If you can find the hand crank ones, though, they're a quick flip. I don't think this person's going to get $295. I doubt it. I had mine up for a couple weeks, and we wound up getting $149.99. Maybe they did go up in price. Maybe they did. But we also had a Singer. It's like it. I forget what it does. I asked my mom what it does. She used to sew. She kind of explained it to me, but I kind of forgot what it did. That also sold for about $120. So yeah, if you guys can find those Singer machines, they sell pretty good. I wound up paying $0 for that. That was an estate clean out, so that was good. This is a vintage Dobbs hat. I had it up for $55. I accepted a $30 offer. So that was a few of the sales from yesterday. I packaged some items because we got same day shipping. I have same day shipping, so whatever items sell from between a certain time in the morning till midnight, I have to package a certain amount of them up so it don't mess up my shipped in 24-hour shit, right? So that's what I do. So that's 25 of them that sold yesterday. My sales were down. That's 25 of the 32 that sold yesterday. My sales were down until I got right back at being consistent on listing. And you guys remember that with my father-in-law being in the hospital, then my nephew. It was a tough few weeks, man. And some other things went on in our family that it set us back a little bit. But sales picked right back up. Listen, I don't know if listing from your PC is anything special. I'm learning it. I'm not cranking out 40 items a day on the PC yet. I told everybody in the group I was going to start at 20 to 25 items until I mastered that. And then once I got that amount of sales every single day again, I was going to jump up to, I'll try to set this phone down. I was going to jump back up to my 30 because it's taken me a little while. It's taken me a little bit to get used to, I'm sorry guys. I don't have my room set up the way I used to anymore. But it's taking me a little while to get used to the PC. Now, certain items I can get done in a minute. Certain items I can get done in 2 minutes. If I got to create the whole title, create the whole listing and everything else, then it takes a little bit longer. How do you send your pics to the PC? That, Corey, right there. Yeah, Vic, dude, I'm trying to do something that don't make me, I'm not comfortable with it. I don't like listing from my PC neither, but I'm trying to expand. And for one, my phone's forcing me into doing it. I can't list from my phone no more. I don't know if my phone's that old where it just can't take the next update on eBay or whatever. But every time I fill out all the item specifics, it goes blank on my ass, man. I actually, Corey, Vic is saying digital camera and a SD card. That is probably the smartest option you can do. I am not doing it that way right now. I am using my phone, and I'm plugging my phone into the back of my computer and then importing my photos to my PC. The problem with that is I got to delete every set of photos every day, and then I got to delete them from my phone every single day. Yeah, Vic says invest into a new phone. Actually, I was so against listing from the PC, and I think the only reason I was against listing from the PC is because I was ignorant to the PC listing, right? The truth is once you build enough templates on your PC, you could easily probably knock out 20 to 30 items an hour, right? Which is double time of what I was doing. I was doing 10 to 15 items an hour from my cell phone. I'm already capable to do that amount in an hour, and I've only been listing from my PC solid for about a week. Okay, for about a week I've been listing solid from the PC. I can only imagine where I'll be at in 3 months down the road when I master the PC. If you want to be I think a more effective reseller, I think learning the PC, I'm not telling you to stop listing from your phone, because if you do that, you're not going to hit your quota, right? But I do suggest everybody at least a couple times a week to take 5 items and tinker around with the PC, start learning it, start learning how to build templates. Don't be worried about making a messed up template, because you can erase those templates, you can edit those templates, you can do whatever you want to the templates, right? But once you have, like me, I sell a lot of women's clothing, men's clothing. So you only got to make one template for a sweatshirt or a hoodie, right? It doesn't matter what gender it is. You can quickly add that into the template, which takes you 1/10 of the time as it does punching it all in from your phone. Item specifics as well. If you can do that as well. I haven't got into that yet. I still fill all the item specifics on each individual item, which is probably why it's taking me a little bit longer. Yeah, Vic, I think it is. I'm telling you, I did not like it, but I'm actually kind of starting to get into it, right? Like, I didn't like it in the beginning. It felt foreign to me. It felt like Chinese. It almost reminded me of the beginning of my reselling journey. Like when I did not even know what an item specific was. Like when I did not even know how to make a title. When I didn't even know how many photos I should take. When I didn't know how my lighting should be. When I did, it took me back there. But, in some aspects, I believe that's a good thing, right? It's teaching me back to the basics of things and what's important in your listing. And you can really, I think you can almost research your items and your pricing a little easier on the PC. Now, this isn't me saying shunning anybody using their phone, because I'm a firm believer. If you're doing 30 and under items a day, I don't believe a PC is needed. I was doing 30 to 40 items a day from my cell phone for a long time, and I could get it done in about 4 hours, right? And that's photos and everything included, right? That's not how long it took me to just list the items. That was the photos, the prep time, everything to get it up and going. How many photos per item do you do? That depends on the quality, Vic, of the piece of clothing I'm listing or whatever it is. Sometimes if it's a CD, 4 freaking photos, dude. If it's a vintage sweater that needs, it's got some special features to it, I might take 16 photos. If it's a regular hoodie, I'm probably taking 8 to 10 photos, right? 8 to 10 photos. It takes me no longer than a minute to do my one set of photos. No longer than a minute. If it takes me longer than a minute, I'm wasting time. So I just wanted to make a video on some of the items that sold and show also that sales aren't dead. Sales aren't dead, guys. My sales died for a reason. My sales died because for 3 weeks I didn't water the grass, okay? And it doesn't matter how long you're reselling. I don't care if you've been reselling as long as Tech and Sports has been reselling. If he stops everything he's doing today, yes, he's going to have sales for quite some time. I believe he would probably have sales for 6 months to a year. He's been doing it for a decade, and he's been doing it consistent for a decade. What's your average sales a day? Well, my average sales a day was between 30 and 35. Now, you just seen yesterday, Well, I also packaged up 8 items, so we wound up with 32 sold yesterday. But usually it was between 30 and 35 when I was doing between 30 and 40 items a day, right? If I'd have been doing 40 items a day, it would have been closer to the 40. So that's my average sales a day. When I was not listing, when I wasn't able to list because of the family things, for, you know, the things that went on with us, my nephew, my father-in-law, and all that, I dropped down to below 10 a day. So that was pretty significant decrease in income. Significant decrease in income. So, but it doesn't matter how long you've been listing. I was just talking about Tech doing it for 10 years. If he quit today, in a year, his sales are going to be worse than ours. It will be, because eBay is all about your consistent activity daily. They want to see your store open every day, and they want to see it making progress every day. I haven't been as consistent as Tech and Sports, and I'm not comparing myself to him whatsoever. He's a legend when it comes to reselling. But the truth is I was pretty damn consistent for quite some time. I've had my moments where I got lazy and blah blah blah. I've explained that in my videos. But within 3 weeks, my sales went from 30 to 35 sales a day down to single digits. So that lets you know this is not a get rich, and then once you get rich, you can just lay back. Matter of fact, you're probably going to have to work harder. If anybody thinks that of reselling, like this is just something that you're going to hit a certain area and then you can just kick back and kick your feet up and get lazy, that is not true. That's false hope. If anybody told you that, they were lying to you, and that's not what this is about. This is about building something that brings a consistent flow of income in, right? And helping your customers. Finding your customers. Another thing getting out of that, right? But another thing I found that's been helping me with the PC is finding the actual proper price that I should be pricing my items. I've been talking about prices, I don't know, for a couple weeks. A lot, actually, in my video content. And the truth is, some of my stuff's listed too high. You guys, no matter how long you're reselling, sometimes your item's going to be up there $2 too high, $5 too high. I've been doing it 50 items a day again. I'm dropping prices on them, reevaluating them, retitling them. And as you see, within a week and a half, our sales went, I was just told you I was in the single digits, 8 sales a day, 9 sales a day, 10 sales a day, to 32 in one day. Now, that didn't only happen because I got back to consistent listing. That also happened, I believe, because I'm changing some titles. I'm making them visible. Some of my titles still, I got 7,000, 6,000 some odd items in the high 6,000s in my inventory. And some of those listings, you imagine when I first started the store, that I picked a niche in clothing. And I didn't know what I was doing. Okay, so you don't know what you're doing in the beginning when you pick a niche. I'm telling you this now. You can do a lot of research, you can get good at it, but you're going to learn as you go. So some of these items in my store that's been sitting for a long time, the reason they're sitting is because the titles are off. The item specifics are off. The photos might look like shit. I don't know. I'm going in there, like I say, and revise them daily. And my price is off. I've been dropping prices from items that have been sitting for a long time, 50 a day, and they're starting to move. They're starting to sell. So that shows you that it don't matter how long you've been reselling. Almost everybody, unless you're Tech and Sports, has probably got some items on their store that could use some rearranging of a title. Just moving words around, right? Putting some key points in it. I just watched a video on a guy last night. He's kind of I don't know, I never seen his face on eBay, talking about eBay. And he was talking about a brushed Wrangler's snap button shirt. Because, that shirt, if you didn't put that brushed keyword in there, he wouldn't have sold it for $60. He probably would have sold it for $15. But because he used a certain keyword, it sold for $60. Tech or Daily Refinement made a video yesterday too about Tech and Sports sold a baseball cap or whatever for $120. Where the same listing, the same exact hat that he had, there was 3 other people that had that same hat on there for $30. But Tech and Sports sold in 24 hours for $120. Why did Tech and Sports sell for $120, but the same exact hat was on there for $30 and nobody bought the $30 one? It was key words. Tekken Sports knew about that hat. He knew what keywords needed to be in that title, and that's why Tekken Sports got $120 for that fucking hat. The same hat's sitting on there with the wrong words in the title. There's 2 or 3 other ones that Chris was saying that had the wrong keywords in the title. Your title and your pricing is the most crucial to what you're going to get and to maximize your sales on eBay, to maximize the value of each item. Why did Tekken Sports sell for $120 and there's still the same hat on there for $30? I don't know why Tekken Sports ain't buying that hat for $30 and reselling it for $120. Why? I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he did, right? But the reason Tekken Sports sold for $120 is because Tekken Sports has done his fucking research. He's knowledged himself into the sporting industry enough to know what the how to title it, how to word it, what item specifics to use, where to set the price, and how to make a $15 hat sell for $120. That's what he did. He's a master. He's a master in his niche. He's got 10 years. Anybody that's got 10 years in one niche, they should be a master. That's enough time to be a master at something. To be a master at any one thing in life, you got to have, what do they call it? 5 years or up to 10,000 hours of beating on that craft, whatever it is. A niche in clothing, a niche in baseball cards, basketball. You got to have at least 5 years or up to 10,000 hours into it before you can consider yourself a master, right? Look at jiu-jitsu and all that stuff. When you become Bruce Lee didn't become Bruce Lee at the age of 12, right? Bruce Lee became Bruce Lee when he became a master of mixed martial arts, right? And that took him years to get there. We seen the movies after he already spent 20 years getting there, 15 years, whatever it was, getting there, and we're like, oh my God, right? But we didn't see the work it took him to get there, right? We didn't see that work. So I just want to show you guys some of the sales that went on. I don't do that too often. We had decent sales yesterday. I believe we had a just under $1,000 day. That makes me feel more comfortable. That's where I like to be. I mean, that's ballpark. I'd like to be at $1,500 in sales in a day. That's where I'd like to be. I'd feel better there. But I'm going to work it back up to there. I think that's going to take me between 30 and 40 sales every single day of consistent sales. So it's your boy Flippin' Stoop. You guys have a rockin' rad day. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you got anything out of this video, please subscribe to the channel. Please share the content. You guys have a rockin' rad day.